Titans, let me just say, we're eating good right now. With the latest act dropping, with the Season of the Revenant, Bungie gave us Slayer's Fang, which is this season's exotic shotgun. We'll be making a build that synergizes well with no backup plans and our Void subclass. If you're new here, welcome to the family, and if you've been here, welcome home. Let's get right into it. Let's start off with the exotics that we'll be running with the build. First up, Slayer's Fang. Like our previous exotics from the story, this one is a craftable, meaning you will have to pick up the quest from our friend Idol in the last city to really bring this gun to the next level. Our refit of choice is going to be Repulsor Brace refit. The reason for this is because of Repulsor Brace granting us Overshield, which is going to come in super handy later on. Just remember, we want Repulsor Brace. The exotic perk for this weapon is going to be Heart Piercer. Rounds from this weapon shatter into submunitions on impact, and the intrinsic trait is Nightsworn Sight. Dealing final blows to targets grant Nightsworn Sight. During this, final blows will grant True Sight. Reload speed and precision damage is also increased, and the submunitions also weaken targets. This is going to come in handy because this gun is not only handing out debuffs to our targets, but it's also ramping up its own damage. Now let's look at our exotic armor piece, no backup plans. Its exotic perk is Force Multiplier. While we have our Void super equipped, rapid kills with a shoddy or defeating powerful enemies will give us a Void overshield, and it'll also regen our health. While we have a overshield, our shotguns will also deal more damage, and any kills we get while we have that overshield will refresh it. Is it starting to come together? We're essentially going to become a powerhouse on the battlefield with very little to stop us. And with how we're going to be building this into our subclass, we're always going to have overshields, and because we'll always have those overshields, we're going to have super high damage output in any type of content that we decide to do. Now onto our subclass. Our super is interchangeable. You can run whatever you want. You can run the bubble and then always have that constant overshield that you'll have from it and just melt whatever you're fighting. Or you can run something like Sentinel Shield or Twilight Axe for damage, or just roaming super in general. But any super works, especially in in-game content, so you don't have to stress it too much. I use Towering Barricade, Shield Toss. You can get away with the Bash, but when you throw your shield, you'll get some overshield from that. It's just an overall easier way to get overshield and keep your buffs high. You can run the Shoulder Charge, but I found with this build, the Shield Toss just works 10 times better. And if you're doing Grandmaster Nightfalls or Master Raids, instead of having to run and hit an enemy, you can just throw your shield. It's a little bit safer with little risk involved. Our aspects are going to be Offensive Bulwark, which provides increased grenade recharge rate, an increase in range and melee damage, and our melee kills will restore a portion of our overshield, and it'll extend the duration, all while we have an overshield active. Our fragment lineup is going to be Echo of Starvation, Persistence, Undermining, and Instability. As far as our weapons go, I run Eminence with Demolitionist and Chaos Reshaped, and you get this by completing Salvation's Edge, and it can also be crafted. You can also get this to drop from Excision if you have it unlocked already. That's actually how I finished crafting my gun. Our secondary is obviously going to be Slayer's Fang, and then our power weapon is going to be Chill Inhibitor with Envious Arsenal and Bait and Switch, or you can run an LMG or Rocket. It's very interchangeable. You can make it what you want it, but Chill Inhibitor with Envious and Bait and Switch has just really worked for me in terms of putting out a ton of damage. If you don't have an Eminence, don't feel too bad. You can run any gun you want. Anything with Demolitionist helps with your grenade regen, but it's not a necessity, so feel free to change it however you want. Our mods are going to be super simple. On our helmet, we'll have Special Ammo Finder, Harmonic Siphon, and Strand Siphon. That way we can make our orbs. Then our gauntlets are going to have firepower, impact induction, and momentum transfer. Make sure your chest piece has the resistance mods matching up with whatever enemy type you're facing in any activity. Boots are going to have absolution, invigoration, and harmonic scavenger, and our class item will have powerful attraction, reaper, and outreach. Our gameplay loop is going to revolve around having our overshield up at all times. We can do this in several ways. One, by throwing our shield. Second, dropping our barricade. Third, popping a bubble if you're running that super. And Slayer's Fang when hitting debuffed targets. How I run this build is I'll drop my shield to activate my no backup plans with extra damage, and I'll start burning my enemies. Any kills that we're going to be getting with Slayer's Fang is going to refresh our shields, and the submunitions that hit any targets are going to weaken them, which then procs Repulsor Brace. You see the vision. Our grenade also applies weaken, so now we've created this loop of always having a way to create overshields and maintain it, and debuff the enemies. If you're running Sentinel Shield, you can use it to secure a res, clear ads. Bubble can be used to always have your overshield while shredding a boss, as Slayer Fangs does have a massive amount of damage being done. And Twilight Axe if you just want to get that burst DPS and start chunking with Slayer's Fang. That's all I have today. This weapon is a nice breath of fresh air, and it also allows us to make an interesting build using no backup plans. We all just kind of threw our no backup plans in the back of the closet and forgot about it, but it's all good because it's getting all the love and attention it needs right now. Let me know how this build works for you guys and how you might change it to make it better or make your gameplay loop smoother. We do use and try new builds live over on Twitch, so if you haven't already, head over and drop a follow so you know when I'm live. And most importantly, if you enjoyed today's video, tell a friend about it. Like the video and hit subscribe if you haven't already. And as always guys, I do appreciate every single one of you, yes you, for coming by, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.